Have you had your coffee yet? I am in a great mood today. Happy Sunday. Welcome back to another video. In the last video that I posted, I asked you guys if you believed in me. You believed in me. So guess what I did? I went ahead and I started on our fix over. If you didn't see my last video, I call this a fix over because I hired some handymen to do a project for me and they were just Now I'm taking it on myself, so I'm going to finish the job that they started. For you guys who are new here, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and let's keep the family growing. So in this video, we're going to be turning this into this. We're going to do a ceiling patch and we're going to frame and add drywall. Those are my inspiration for the space, and I actually have some ideas that I would like for you guys to vote on and help me out with. So I will leave some tags up here so you guys can go ahead and vote. My son said 9, so it's time to shine. Wow. Hey boos, let's get right into it. We're going to tackle this ceiling. So step 1, we're going to add back our insulation. Now that the ceiling is no longer leaking, we can add our insulation before closing it right up. Insulation is used to keep the heat out of your living space when it's hot and the cold out in the winter time, so you have a warm and toasty home. I will be using drywall screws, a box cutter, measuring tape, and a leveler to get this done. I'm measuring the space to see how much drywall I will need to cut. It's an odd shape, but I'm going to punch it in and make sure it fits. I'm using 1/2-inch sheetrock, which I believe is a typical width for a ceiling. I measure the size that I need, then I use my level to trace it with a pencil, and again I trace it with my box cutter. Drywall is typically very easy to cut, but this one is a bit thicker, so I feel like it's going to give me a bit of trouble. And it did. Just like I expected, I had to flip it over and do the same thing to the back. Measure, line, trace. This thing was a bit stubborn, so I had to punch it with my knife a few times. Then, there we go, we got it cut. Then I brought it to my ceiling. It took a bit of a wiggle. I had to shave up one side, but it fits. You will use your drywall screws to screw it into your wooden studs. It's okay if it's not lined up perfectly because we're going to tape and mud the cracks anyway. It's all good. We're using this sheetrock mud. So first you lay a thin layer of mud, then add your tape. The mud is what holds the tape in place. So I'm taping it up, then once done, I'm going to go ahead and mud it again. You have to mud a few times. You send it down, mud again, repeat and repeat. Ideally, you do this about 3 times. By the way, how are you guys doing? Comment down below. I want to know. Since I finished that faster than I thought that I would, I'm going to go ahead and do some framing. In case you guys don't know, when you're framing, it's typically you want to do your frame pieces 16 to 24 inches apart. So let's say I close these up and down the line I want to put something right here. I can't because they left a big old gap. They were going to close it up just like this. There's a big old gap. So I'm going to cut some frame pieces. I'm going to put 2 in between here. So let me know what you guys think. Should I leave this open and have like a shelf right there? Or should I just close it off all the way so that it's seamless and it's like a seamless piece? Let me know in the comments below. So if I leave it open, I can put like baskets under here so that I have storage. Maybe I can put like pillows or whatever I need. But if I close it off, obviously I won't have that. So what do you guys think? I think the best way to add it will be to copy what they did right here, which is to add race piece here and then here, and then connect the whole thing together that way. And look at this. Oh my gosh, they did such a good job, y'all. They did an amazing job. Let's get started with our framing. So first step is always to measure. That way we know what size we need. My ceiling is slanted, so I had to double check on the sizing as it is slightly different from side to side. I'm cutting all my pieces at once. Once done, I always close and lock my saw to avoid any freak accidents later on. So we're using 2.5-inch screws. I'm measuring out 16 inches spacing between our frame. You can do 16 or 24, but I'm going with 16. I'm using clamps to hold the wood in place so I can screw it. Always double check your level. I noticed that they angled the screws for some of the other parts, so I decided to try that instead, and it worked! Please subscribe! Guys, I got this sheet of plywood at Home Depot for 70% off. So I decided to use a piece of that plywood to make my lower shelf. All in a day's work. I think it's looking pretty good so far. I know part of me kind of wants to go ahead and hang some drywall right here. This part is going to give me a little bit of an issue because it's angled, but I think what I'm going to do is hang a square piece first, as high as it can go, and then fill in that little nook. I think that's what I'm going to do. But that'll be for day 2. I'm very tired. I have knee problems and I've been going up and down a lot, so now like I feel like I'm going to fall at any moment, so I'm going to go ahead and take a break. So it is day 2 tackling this project. We already pretty much did all of the framing work, and now we're going to be now we're going to be doing the drywalling. The drywall is kind of heavy, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to cut it into like multiple sections so that I can hold it up and screw it at the same time, since I don't have anyone to help me. So yeah, let's get it done. What I decided to do on this side is I'm going to make a little like pocket. So just like I did down here, I'm going to make a little pocket so I can put my so I can leave my router sitting in there, and that way I won't have anything ugly just like piling up right here. So I told you guys that I like to sketch out a basic plan so I know what I'm doing. It's not the best looking sketch in the world, but it serves its purpose. So I cut up a piece of plywood and I screwed it at the wood base. I also cut another wooden base for the back, and I shimmied a 1/2-inch piece of wood to make the height that I needed. Then for the back, I just used some scrap 1x4 pieces that I had laying around, and I added another framing piece of wood at the top to keep them in place. Then I just nail gun another piece of plywood to the side and at the top.
Easy peasy. Lemon squeezy.
The cord is too short on the cable, so I won't even be able to bring it up a couple inches. So we're gonna keep this where it is and just cut around it. Hey Boos! Have you had your coffee yet? I have, which is why I'm so energized right now. This is day 3 of this makeover thing, what you call it. I think I'm gonna call it this fix over because I'm basically fixing what I hired somebody else to do for me. So I didn't get to do the drywalling during part 2 because I got tired. It was a lot of work. I have some knee issues, so going up and down ladders and like standing on my feet for too long just is a mother. So I had to take a very long break, but we're going to continue. All right, my beautiful people, let's jump right in. So I'm cutting up the piece from the plywood to expose the cable. I traced it, cut it off, and then sand it down. I had to add a backing piece. It made it stick out a little bit, but it's okay. We'll figure out how to make it all seamless in the end.
Our Wi-Fi box has a home.
Alright, so let's get started with doing our drywall. I use my leveler to draw a straight line on the drywall. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to cut along that line. So when I tried to put it down, it was like, it's nothing to. So if you're going to do this, make sure you already have it laying down so that you don't almost die. I used a piece of wood to hold the drywall in place. Full disclaimer, I had to remove and replace this piece of drywall a couple of times. It kept shifting, hence the multiple holes. But it's okay, we can fix all that later on with mud. I am beyond excited that I actually got this done. You just don't understand. I came in and I can already picture the completely finished product. Like, tell me this is not looking, like, tell me. I mean, like, I hate to toot my own horn, but toot toot. So I need your help again because I took this old cabinet that I had laying in my garage. It's you can see that it's been sitting there for a while, so dusty and just gross. But this was sitting out in my garage and I just bought it here and it fits like almost seamlessly. So if I do, let me close it so you guys can get a better view. So if I do decide to have it there, I'm going to have to take this base and flip it to the bottom, right? And then add a top to it. So I need you guys to go ahead and vote because I'm not sure. I mean, I kind of like it, and plus I can store like our games, blankets, whatever in here. It never hurts to have more storage space. What do you guys think? Would it affect the overall look if I add this there? I mean, it's already white and everything is going to be white anyway. What do you guys think? Go ahead and vote here or here. I'm just gonna leave a little thingy so you guys can vote. Leave it or take it out. And I also add a before picture so you can get a better understanding. So before is just going to be this base right here covered up, so it's like a shelf. With it, it looks like this. I will still have to attach it and, like, you know, add the corners so that it looks like a seamless piece. Raise it up so the doors open easier. Maybe change the hardware. I'm not sure, but yeah. So I actually went ahead and I removed it so you guys can see this is what it would look like with nothing there. And this is the cabinet. So yeah, go ahead and vote. Thank you so much for watching, guys. And as always, may your hair game be as strong as your coffee game. I love you, latte. Bye, boos. Let's get to 1K. Let's get to 1K. Let's get to...